after curling the wool slightly larger than the one-to-one drawing. On the left, tightly felting it with a needle 38 gauge star to create the shape of a hat as shown in the above picture. Spread a thin layer of shredded wool on the surface of the hat, gently felting it with a needle 40 gauge star, making the surface of the hat smoother. After curling the wool slightly larger than the one-to-one drawing. On the left, tightly felting it with a needle 38 gauge star to create a cylindrical body as shown in the above picture. Spread a thin layer of shredded wool on the surface of the body, gently felting it with a needle 40 gauge star, making the surface of the body smoother. continuously and deeply felting the body and head with a needle 40 gauge star until they are connected together. Take a small amount of wool and curl it, felting it with a needle 40 gauge star to create a small round ball, which will be used as the nose. Continuously and deeply felting the nose and body with a needle 40 gauge star until they are connected. Take a small amount of wool and fold it flat, felting one side tightly with a needle 38 gauge star to create the brim of the hat. Wrap the brim around the hat and felting it with a needle 40 gauge star until it is secure. Note, leave the nose exposed. Spread a thin layer of shredded wool on the surface of the brim, gently felting it with a needle 40 gauge star, making the surface of the brim smoother. Take a small amount of wool, roll it into a long strip, and use a needle 40 gauge star to felting patterns of ribbons on the surface of the hat. Place wool of equal length directly below the body, felting the middle position of the wool with a needle 40 gauge star. Gradually add more wool from bottom to top, creating the effect of whiskers. Show the front and side views of the well-felting whiskers. Use scissors prepare your own to trim off the excess whiskers. Show the front and side views of the trimmed whiskers. Take a small amount of wool and curl it, felting it with a needle 40 gauge star tool. Create the shape of an arm. Use a needle 40 gauge star to deeply felting the arm into the body until they are connected. Take a small amount of wool and curl it, felting it with a needle 40 gauge star tool. Create a flat foot shape. Use a needle 40 gauge star to deeply felting the foot into the body until they are connected. Take a small amount of wool and curl it. A darker yellow wool, felting it with a needle 40 gauge star to create a flat strip shape. Cut the flat strips in half from the middle. With scissors bring around to make sunflower petals, lightly felting the petals together with a needle 40 gauge star to form the shape of a flower. Felting the second layer of petals together with a needle 40 gauge star by using the same method. Take a small amount of wool and roll it into a ball, felting it with a needle 40 gauge star in the center of the petals to create the stamen. Place the sunflower on the side of the hat and deeply felting it with a needle 40 gauge star until it is connected together. Use the same method to create a larger sunflower. Yellow wool in the same color as the hat, twisting the wire together. Wrap the surface of the wire with wool and lightly felting it tightly with a needle 40 gauge star to create the stem. Take a small amount of wool and lightly felting it with a needle 40 gauge star to connect the flower and stem together. a small amount of wool and to felting out the shape of leaves with a needle 40 gauge star. Use a needle 40 gauge star to lightly felting the leaves and stem until they are connected together. Use a needle 40 gauge star to felting the sunflowers, arms, and body together to complete the creation.